Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Media True Nerd, and welcome back to Fallout 4 No Guns. Last time, well, we went on a little bit of a great journey and explored all around the history of the Cabot family and wrapped that up, as well as getting ourselves a very awesome little sword at the end there. And today we have got to go and make friends with a faction. But first, I realised I didn't really kind of properly show off the sword last time, so hang on, just so you know exactly what we're bloody hell, Bacon, calm down, just so you know what we're dealing with here. So General Chow's Revenge, effectively it's kind of a legendary weapon with the prefix Troubleshooters, which is 50% plus damage against robots. Not great, but not bad either. By default, it comes with the Serrated Blade, which is actually probably one of the better blades. And I wouldn't actually be able to build that myself normally at this point, because it's Blacksmith 2. For 75 damage and 20 electrical, I'd argue that's much worse than Serrated, and I don't really know why you'd ever really want to have that, to be honest. However, there is an upgrade, which is the Serrated Blade can go up to Serrated Electrified, which basically just adds an extra 20 electrical on top of Serrated, which is obviously very, very good indeed. But that's going to be quite a way off, because that's Blacksmith 3. However, if I happen to find something with an electrified Serrated Blade on a trader, I'll obviously just be able to take that off and apply it to General Chow's Revenge, but it's kind of... you know, it's a coin flip whether you get that. I went around off screen and kind of checked around the vendors I happen to have unlocked, and none of them had anything like that yet. Honestly, I'm probably a little bit low leveled for traders to have electrified serrated blades. But still, it's a very, very good weapon regardless. And as I've waited until dawn of the following one, it's very pretty. I like dawn in Fallout 4. How it's like Fallout 4 arguably isn't quite maybe as dark as it should be, but I do like it when you've kind of got the darkness of night, but just some nice light on the horizon. That's very, very pretty indeed. I do enjoy that. Yes, now that I've done that, I now have to go and have a little journey to a location we actually stumbled across a couple of parts ago. And that there is the Old North Church. You may recall while we were on our way to Pickman's Gallery, we actually kind of passed the very rear of this place, but still triggered it as a fast travel location. So yes, we are indeed going to go and visit the railroad today. Hooray, the railroad have multiple things that I actually need. So, let's go and have a little look-see. Believe if I recall correctly, there are ghouls in here on your first visit, so I just need to take care of those quickly. Feral and... oh, hang on, which one of you? You're a feral. These will be absolutely destroyed by General Chow's Revenge. Legendary Feral Ghoul Reaver. Actually, that looks like it's still going to be more or less destroyed. Alright, fine. Let's get on this, because Reavers are not what they used to be, damn it. Let's go in for a sneak. There we go in. He's already mutated. And then we can just... oh, I think we've already chopped one of his arms off, and he's dead. Reavers! Reavers got such a downgrade in this game. It's almost crazy how much Reavers are useless next to what they used to be. I mean, I guess Reavers were sort of replaced by glowing ones. Glowing ones are now utterly ridiculous. Ooh, Cavalier Synth Right Arm. Reduces damage while blocking or sprinting by 15%. Ooh, what? It's always the bloody right arm, isn't it? I think I've actually already got a good thing on the right arm, if I recall correctly. Yeah, the right arm's my Martyr's gear, which I'd argue is more useful. But I will definitely kind of, yeah, I'll keep that. That Cavalier stuff could be useful. I will at some point just kind of pop that away into my little kind of suitcase full of stuff back at Sanctuary Hills. But I think you can see there at least, obviously, kind of just proof of just how powerful melee builds are. In fact, I'm genuinely thinking, like, in future when I create, like, what I believe is, like, the optimal character, I think potentially melee is a secondary, yeah, just kind of like as a secondary weapon type, might be worth having, even on a character that's primarily a gun user. Like, because if you're a gun user, you're still probably going to be taking ninja and stealth perks. And if you are, I'd argue that you're still probably well worth taking all of the kind of, yeah, just arguably it's probably worth taking just some stuff related to melee as well. Just to kind of, yeah, have either melee or unarmed. Some people swear by unarmed. I just don't like it because there's such a lack of options available. Basic feral, 5 times damage. Thank you, by the way, to everyone who's been telling me. Sorry, I forgot to acknowledge this in a previous part. All the people who've been telling me about the rules for melee and how it's believed to be a bug. That obviously the slow and two-handed melee weapons are deemed to be kind of, they're treated like guns at rank 1 and 2, but they're treated like melee weapons at rank 3, so it's kind of thought to probably be a bit of a bug. Some people are telling me in version 1.4 that's been fixed. Sadly, no, it's not. What they fixed in 1.4 was a completely unrelated issue. In 1.4, they fixed an issue where Mr. Sandman and Ninja didn't interact properly because they kind of, yeah, they messed up when you kind of took both of them, and you're a roamer, you'll be dead too. Lovely. Oh, that wasn't a sneak attack critical. You saw me very early in the day. Never mind. Is that hacky head off? Oh, come on. That was a slash across the neck. Should have taken his bloody head off. So sadly, the ninja damage is still broken. That doesn't really matter for me now, because arguably, like, I've got General Chow's Revenge, which is as powerful as the Rockville Slugger, and I'll probably be using Pikmin's Blade most of the time. So anyway, let's crack open this here base, which I have absolutely no way of knowing. I have absolutely no way of knowing what the password is, but you know what? I'm just going to take a guess.
It spins.
Oh, good old Bacon. Oh, it spins me like.
Oh, so it starts with R.
Bacon like spinny things. Spinny things start with R. And there we are. The railroad has opened this up. The railroad really fascinating, because obviously there's nothing to stop you at level 1 running out of the vault, running straight here, and if just because, you know, if you already just from, you know, having played previous games know the password is railroad, entering it here and just going straight in to the railroad straight away. The fun thing is, obviously, Deacon kind of vouches for you when you step inside. What he says changes every plate. If I just turn to you, wait, hang on. If I turn away from that ghoul, his clothing animates up, and then when I look back, it always flops. What? That's weird. Why does that keep happening? That's... Stop flumping up your skirt. Okay, I'm just going to move him out of the way because he's... I don't like that. There you go. You're going over here. There you are. Stop distracting me, you. Yes, so what he says changes every time. So, you know, if you've already done something like you've killed the Corsair as part of that mission, then obviously he'll talk about how amazing it is that you killed a Corsair single-handedly. However, if you run straight here after just coming straight out of Vault 111, he'll basically, because he doesn't know anything about you, he'll basically just, I think the exact line is, well, she has to be somebody, right? So he gets a bit desperate, which I think is quite funny. Anyway, let's step forward into the ambush.
Stop right there.
This, by the way, just like usual, there's nothing stopping you just kind of moving around. There's nothing stopping you moving around or just kind of leaving straight away without bothering to answer her questions if you really want to. You can just kind of walk away. But sadly, that does make them hostile if you actually leave in the end. They also try to keep aiming at you, but especially Drummer Boy slightly struggles with the task. He really doesn't... He kind of keeps going into a slightly weird, glitchy, crouched pose. And even Glory kind of slightly twitches around a bit weirdly.
I need intel. Who is this?
Wow. Newsflash, boss. This lady is kind of a big deal out there.
And indeed, Deacon has been following me, because of course he was there in Diamond City, he was there in Good Neighbor, so he has actually seen me a couple of times, though admittedly I think I haven't done that much yet, to be honest. I mean, I guess I am General of the Minutemen, and that's kind of one of his default things he'll go to if you've only done the very game opening. But as I say, you can come here before you've even been named General, and yes, he'll just have to kind of make something up around you. Yeah, I'm going to confirm his story.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy.
You know, you're practically famous. You're the one rebuilding the Minutemen out of Sanctuary, right? And, as if that wasn't enough, you've left a trail of destruction in your wake. Gone places no sane person would go alone. Yeah, that's one of the other things that he can say if basically you haven't done anything significant in the plot yet. That, yeah, if you've actually been going around but you have been killing people, he'll just say Trail of Destruction. So with that, we've passed Desdemona's little pop quiz and everyone calms down and stops pointing guns at me, and I can speak to Deacon right away. Hello. I vouched for you. Nobody got shot. Still, I would consider it a close personal favor if you didn't sell us out to the Institute.
Ooh, and a good sarcastic option becomes available. Lovely.
Too bad. I was hoping to get some beer money out of it.
If you're picking up the tab, never mind. Go for it.
Okay, and we have begun with that tradecraft, though we've also just leveled up. Lovely. Now, level 17. Ah, level 17. I believe that is another good one. What was I remembering? I remember to have to take something at level 17. Ah, yes, Blacksmith 2 opened up the previous level, but I didn't take it then because I believe that's the same level that... I think Big Leagues 2. No, that opens up at 15. Was it? Oh, sorry, it was Ninja. I think it was Ninja 2 that opened up at 16. So, Blacksmith 2. Maybe the last rank of Blacksmith I'd take. I don't know when I get to level 29 if it'll be worth taking the third and final rank, but I'll definitely take this one because there's a few benefits to get out of it. So, as Deacon says, he wants us to meet us near Lexington. I need to go and quickly top up on supplies, and then I will meet you there. So, back at Sanctuary, and let's just quickly see what Blacksmith 2 opens up for me. So, Big Jim can go up from Puncturing, 89 damage, which is armor piercing, up to Extra Heavy, what appears to just be a bloody can opener, but whatever. Chance to cripple, extra limb damage, superior damage. Perfect. And arguably more important, the Rockville Slugger can go up from Chained, 131 damage slow, up to Bladed, which is 150 base and adds bleed damage. Not much bleed damage. Honestly, outside of like Pikmin's Blade, where you've got the bonus bleed damage, you won't generally notice bleed damage stacking that much, but it's still better than nothing. So to have more power and also to have bleed, yes, Bladed Rockville stack 150 damage a swipe. That's pretty damn good. Plus, of course, it barely even takes anything to make. Just, it's kind of amazing that you can kind of do that for 1 adhesive, 1 oil, and 5 steel. Such common resources. And I've returned to Walden Pond in order to travel to the nearby Deacon and meet up with him. You notice, of course, I've decided to bring my newly repaired power armor along. Exactly the same power armor as before. It's still just the T45, so fairly basic, but full condition and with all of the flame paint job on it, so that I get the agility, just so I can do a little bit more sprinting and more power attacks, of course. Now, I'm bringing that along for a very, very specific reason that's very, very cool, and I think some of you might be unaware of. There's something very, very cool about this mission tradecraft that I'm about to do for Deacon that you will see very, very shortly indeed.
Your base was under a donut shop? That's awesome.
That's just the perfect Bacon response, just kind of slipping "that's awesome" at the end there.
Here we go. Rail sign. The arrow in the center indicates a direction. So our tourist is up ahead. Let's keep going.
Just gotta hope that the Institute and their genius minds never crack the cunning code of there's an arrow and it points in the direction you're supposed to go in.
The front's fortified to hell and back. They place mines all over the goddamn place.
I appreciate all you've done.
I hope it helps. I really do.
So a front door covered with synths and mines. Interesting.
The front door has mines, synths, and probably other fun and exciting prizes. So we're going in through the escape tunnel.
And nope, I don't think we should. I think we should go up against the synths, the mines, and the general chaos and madness of a direct frontal assault.
I say we go through the front door. Minefield or not.
What? If you think we got the mojo for that, I'll back your play. You first.
Absolutely. So now we're going through the front entrance. Hooray! So I think most people kind of do this in like going in the sneaky back way. Nope, absolutely nothing to stop you going in the insane, ludicrous suicide front way. And indeed, there's a fun little quirk there. And speaking of the front way, just simply drop off the front here. And this actually is it pretty much right there. In fact, ooh, did you decide to fling yourself off with me? Well done, Deacon. Well bloody done. Good leg, sir. And this in front of you is pretty much it. Right away. Now, arguably, I should have taken Stealth 3, because Stealth 3 would actually have given me the ability to not trigger frag mines, but never mind, eh? I don't think there's actually that many of them, to be honest. I think we're actually pretty much okay. So with power armor, and just a straight up, yeah, just a mad fleeing approach with some psycho jets, I'd have thought we actually ought to be pretty darn safe. Let's just have a little peek around here. No signs of fragments. Fragments are much more generous than they used to be, by the way, because now they show up in VATs. They never used to. I actually kind of preferred it when they didn't, to be honest. And then, oh. I think Deacon might have just decided to just charge in like a numpty. So we've got all the synths in the world. So best thing I can do is actually head round the side here. And then as soon as I get into a situation where they might theoretically possibly be able to actually attack me, then just go into nice dose of Psycho Jets. And then we just want to be sprinting in as fast as possible. Destroy that. And destroy both of you. Dead and dead. Alright, good. That's the first kind of round done. There's going to be more upstairs yet, but that's fine. Another dose should take care of that. There we are. Forward, 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 forward. And... oh, not quite enough to kill you. And you're dead too. And that is pretty much it. There's actually not even that much there, to be honest. Even on survival mode, just power armor, a dose, couple of doses of Psycho Jet will easily do ya. Just slowly get my health going up as well. But yeah, we're now well into the clear. Perfect. So with them cleared out, all we need to do is just head in the back way here. Slocum Joe's basement. And I believe we're safe down here as well. There's no enemies that spawn in here. No, perfect.
The Institute bastards powered off the elevator. We kill all of them, and we still gotta go in the back way. Well, the slightly bright side here is it'll be easy getting out. You buy that? I don't.
So Deacon just said, oh no, there's no possible way to get through. The elevator's shut down. We can't possibly get there. No, he's wrong. He is straight up wrong and lying. Let me just finish looting here, because there's some precious, precious aluminium. So as you can see here, elevator closed. Lift can't be activated. No way down. Oh no, Deacon, so sad. However, get yourself nice and nestled against the corner. Close the bookcase. And if you're very, very lucky, it might take a few attempts, the bookcase will glitch you through the elevator. Hang on, this is going to take me a few attempts here. There we go. Got it. Got it third time. So now I am in the lift shaft. Now, obviously, this would be an instant death under normal circumstances, but I brought power armor. Huzzah! Down onto the lift we go. Let's go into stealth mode and be super stealthy. Once you're down to the bottom, relatively easy to just crack open the hatch. And then, I think there's nothing else you can get to around here. And then, yeah, once you're in here, you just drop down into the lift. Oh, come on, you can use the... There we go. And then once you're in the lift... Oh, no, they've patched it! Bethesda have sadly figured out that this bug existed, and at some point, they have patched this. Because what you used to be able to do is once you made it down into the lift from above, you could actually just open these doors. They could be manually opened. But unfortunately, now they've disabled everything in the lift until you hit the panel on the other side. And I've now got nothing to actually push myself forward with, tragically. Well, in that case, sadly, it looks like we're going to have to go the traditional way through the tunnels. Never mind. Just stumbled down a flipping legendary radroach down here as well as we enter the sewers. And of course, it's a bloody ghoul slayer's hunting rifle. Yeah, not a bad weapon, actually. Plus 50% damage versus ghouls. Some ghouls, especially, you know, putrid ones, can be pretty terrifying. So, you know, worth having. I'm going to cut past most of this. To be honest, this bit's pretty safe. Basic synths with kind of the basics Institute pistols. They just can't hack it here at all. They just cannot stand up against power armor and a decent kind of level... decent kind of quality melee person. They just don't have the strength for it. For the most part, the synths are not very good at looking around corners, so can be stealth attacked relatively easily. Especially in this kind of later section. I think, will the stealth... Okay, the synth leader, at least one of them is coming in this direction. Good. No, don't. Deacon, don't go around the corner. Well done, Deacon. Now he's on fire. Beautiful. Alright, fine. Let's just get a little bit of health off you guys. Good. Molotovs. Surprisingly powerful when the enemy refuses to break cover. And again. And softens them up nicely to be finished off super quick. And on this occasion, I'd say we just charge forward and finish off the synth leader. Yep, knacker him. I think he set me on fire. He's probably got one of the little Bernie weapons. Yeah, he had a Bernie weapon, but not even that good. You can see there that I'm still at like 80% health on survival mode. Synths, I think kind of synths are actually pretty damn easy to deal with on the high difficulties as long as you've got good armor, just because they use fairly flimsy weapons for the most part. Oh, I'm absolutely sure the gun is absolutely amazing, but I'm never going to actually use it, so never mind. The Deliverer, amazingly powerful gun, but yes, very, very sadly, not going to be used by me. And of course, as you can see here, we've made it back round to the other side of the loop. This is the elevator that refused to open. It used to open. It used to open. It just didn't move. But they've sadly changed it. If you are a Fallout Wiki contributor, maybe worth updating the wiki page to say that that's now been patched. Because unfortunately, you now can no longer do the little kind of glitch to get your way straight to the end here. As cool as that was, no longer a thing. So I've just quickly taken my power armor back home as I don't need it anymore, and because so many of you seem to object to this hugely, I'll take the fusion core with me. I'll take the keys out of the ignition. This seems to trouble a lot of you on a deep fundamental level.
And the new girl patched me up, put me on her shoulder, and blasted her way through the rest of the complex. Synths everywhere.
It's not the most believable story. I don't even flip and use guns. So, code name for the railroad. Actually, I'll go for Professor. Professor Bacon. So, Deacon is available to be my companion, and Deacon loved that. Beautiful. Tradecraft completed for a healthy but not spectacular dump of XP. Nice. And indeed, Deacon as a companion is why I actually did all of this. Deacon, I need you to follow me around for a bit, please. And he immediately points a gun at me. So the thing about companions is I've always had, like, I don't like using companions. I find them overpowered. Like, if I ever used a companion this run, I'd probably use someone like Strong rather than Deacon, because I'd prefer, like, you know, a melee specialist. Plus, I think Strong and Bacon would share a lot of opinions and philosophies about life. Deacon, however, provides a very important perk if I can max out his affinity, but I can only max out his affinity by having him follow me around for ages, which I don't want to do. So instead, I'm going to show off a bit of an exploit that you can kind of use to get the perks for your companions, even if you don't actually want to spend much time with them. It doesn't work for every companion, but it works for some of them. So let's take an advantage of repeatable liked actions, and if Deacon will just follow me, I'll show you what I mean. So I've brought Deacon to the Super Duper Mart because what the Super Duper Mart has is one of the relatively early in the game's safes that is tied to a terminal. So the way I can open or unlock the safe is obviously I could just unlock it, or if I don't feel like unlocking it, I go over to the terminal and I use the safe control. I can turn off the lock, but then I can turn it back on again. Aha! I think you see where I'm going with this. So as a result, I can open the safe, relock the safe, open the safe, and do that in a loop. And the reason I might want to do that is because Deacon likes you unlocking things. Now, the game's a little bit wise to this, but not that wise to it. Because basically, if you save and then load, then the game forgets that you've already done it once, and then Deacon likes it. So if you just kind of do it over and over and over again, Deacon only likes it once. But if you kind of save and load between each attempt, Deacon's loyalty does go up appropriately each time, and you can grind your way up to max loyalty with Deacon. You can do this with any companion that likes you unlocking things. I think that's Deacon, Kate, and Piper. Some of the other companions are harder just to grind your way up to max loyalty with. But to be honest, I just don't want to travel around with Deacon, because I don't like using companions at all, but I do want his perk. So let's just show this off quickly. Though obviously that does mean I need to have a lockpick at advanced. I think that's kind of a worthy trade. Just kind of, yeah, using up one perk or something I might not use that much, just for the sake of getting Deacon up to max loyalty, because the perk he gives you is more than worth it. So I'm just going to assume I'm kind of like taking that particular perk on this level. And I leveled up just by grinding against some ghouls outside in Lexington, by the way. Level 17, and on this occasion, 1 rank of locksmith. Beautiful. So, safe, unlock, advanced. Fine, do that nice and easy. Safe opens up. Deacon liked that. But you'll notice, of course, if I now go over to this terminal, safe control, engage the lock. If I now just reopen the safe,
Nice.
go in, come back out again. Though I get some experience for that, Deacon didn't like that because he'd already seen me do it. One quick save and load later, safe is now backlocked again, and this time, Deacon liked that. So now I'm just going to repeat that a fair few times until such time as Deacon is loyal to me. It's kind of a bug, it's kind of an exploit, but to be honest, like, you know, Deacon's perk is important, but I just don't want to travel with him. So that's what I'm going to quickly do off camera now. Just so you know, by the way, each time that you do this, doing something that a person likes is worth plus 15 affinity with them. In order to max them out and get their perk, needs to be plus 1,000. So I should expect to be doing this about 60 times, which means bobby pins, you might actually start getting a bit low on bobby pins. Careful of that. It's also worth noting Deacon is, while he's relatively easy to do this with, there are easy ones to do this with. So for example, the guys who like weapon modding, Preston and Dance, they're much easier to do with. As well as Dance is the easiest because you can just get in and out of power armor over and over, and he loves that and loves his plus 35, so you don't need to do it 30 times in a row with a quick save and a quick load between each time in order to get him up to a maximum affinity, which is useful. Okay, so I've been traveling with him enough to do a little bit of dialogue with him. This normally would mean I believe I've hit about 250 affinity with him.
Now's a good time.
I'm used to flying solo, but I gotta admit, working with you makes me think I've been missing out. Having someone watching your back is refreshing, especially since you never know when the Institute is watching.
And the feeling is definitely mutual, but if you could just hurry up and give me a perk, that'd be lovely.
I'm a synth. At least that's what they tell me. So I really don't have anything to lose. For Glory and me and the others, it's easier to dedicate ourselves to the cause.
And indeed, that's the first time Deacon overtly admits that he is a synth.
Since we're traveling together, I want you to take this. It's my recall code. If you ever need to know something about the Institute, read it to me.
And there we are, the recall code.
What's the recall code do?
That's the safety net the brain docs put in. An ejector seat to bring back your old synth self. I don't know for certain, but I imagine it's a big old wad of trauma and cupcakes. Except with no cupcakes.
You know, I did just think I could probably have done this with the safe and the terminal back in Sanctuary, couldn't I? Oh well. Ah, Deacon admires you. Lovely. Now that, I believe that is confirmation. Admires is normally 500.
We've been making the rounds, doing the job. It's time you learn the big secret. Everyone thinks that Desdemona is the big boss. She calls the ops, gives the rah-rah speeches, but it's just an act. She does what I tell her to because the railroad, it's my show. It's been that way since I founded it.
I'm not sure I believe you.
You? You founded the railroad.
Sure, me and Johnny D and Watts. Hell, that was over 60, 70 years ago. After a while, you lose count. I tell everyone I get the occasional face change to stay anonymous. Truth is, it takes a lot of work to keep this mug handsome. We've come a long way since the beginning. We've done a lot of good, saved a lot of synths. But we're about more than that. We are the last and only line of defense between the Institute and the Commonwealth. Hell, maybe even the world.
I'm not convinced. I actually think he's telling the truth, but let's just quietly let him go on.
I can't keep up with this bullshit.
I knew you were lying to me.
Of course you did, but hopefully there's a point here. There's other organizations out there, and in time, I'm sure they're going to spoon-feed you their own patented form of bullshit. Ignore the verbiage and look at what they're doing, what they're asking you to do, what sort of world they'd have you build, and how they're going to pay for it.
So that's either 500 or 750 affinity. I thought it was 500, but I may be wrong. Oh well, let's keep going. One thing I do find a bit odd about the whole situation is, there's no way to get, like, a little dump of affinity with Deacon. Like, for example, you know, doing a mission for the railroad, which you think would be the most obvious thing to give you, say, you know, like, plus 100 affinity. But it just doesn't. There's no way to get, like, a bunch of affinity, even for doing a major thing. Same for Dance. Even if you do, like, lots of really good work for the Brotherhood, he won't like you for it. He'll only like you for doing crappy things, like, you know, working on weapons or putting on power armor. Now, at this point, I believe it's time to call out Deacon on his BS, because he is indeed a pathological liar, as we have been told. And that means, contrary to what he told us earlier, he's actually not a synth. And to prove it, Deacon's recall code. Let's have a little look-see at that. Open it up. You can't trust everyone, you say. Like, once again, he's just making the point you can't trust people. Once you've opened that, you can go and have a chat with him. And indeed, I'm going to read it out now.
You can't trust everyone.
Did I have you going? Don't take it personal. Look, I lie to everyone. Maybe I'm just another human that has people back home he wants to protect. Then again, maybe not.
And now you can proceed a little bit further with him, so you can call him my friend.
Well, you're good in my book. Whatever or whoever you are.
If you believe anything, believe this. I'm in your corner. Always have been.
And with that done, we can now crack on with getting even more lockpicking done. Yay. Aha! Oh, finally! Finally! It's been an hour and 40 minutes of doing that over and over and over, and I'm feeling depressed and
I
sad.
got something important to say.
I don't give a shit, just give me the perk!
When I was young, a hell of a long time ago, I was, well, scum. I was a bigot. A very violent bigot.
And youthful mistakes, you're lying. Accuse him of lying again, why not?
You trying to sell me another of your lies? Really?
Just hear me out. Make your judgments then. I ran with a gang in University Point. We called ourselves the UP Death Claws. For kicks, we'd terrorize anyone we thought was a synth. We kept egging each other on. Started with some property damage, graduated to some beatdowns. Then, inevitably, a lynching. The Claws' leader was convinced we'd finally found and killed the synth. Looking back, I'm not so sure.
Oh dear. And I'm just going to withhold judgment.
I'll withhold judgment until you finish.
Thanks. So I turned my back on my brothers, broke all contact. Time passed, I became a farmer, if you can believe that. Then, one day I found someone. She saw something in me I didn't know was there. Barbara, well, she just was.
What was she like?
She had a smile like on those old magazine covers. Her eyes... We were trying for kids, eking out a living. Then one day, it turns out my Barbara, she was a synth. She didn't know that. I certainly didn't. I don't know how the Deathclaws found out, but there was blood.
Well, hang on. How can you be sure? How can anyone have been sure, quite frankly? If you didn't know and she didn't know, then they couldn't possibly have known for certain. So how on earth can you actually be certain that was the truth? In my original playthrough, I saw synths being constructed. Like, at this point, in the blood and the flesh and the bones, they're effectively interchangeable from humans. But, oh dear.
Shit. I'm sorry.
I don't remember much clearly after that. I know I killed most of the claws. I must have made a big impression. The railroad contacted me figuring I'd be sympathetic, seeing that I lost my wife. And, well, what I did afterwards...
After what happened to my family, I can understand.
I thought you might. I don't even know why I lie anymore. But I can't tell the truth. Everyone, Tom, Dez, you, even that asshole Carrington, they deserve to be on the railroad. I don't. I'm everything wrong with this whole fucking Commonwealth. You're the only friend I got. I don't deserve you being okay with this. Hell, I'm not even asking for it. But I figured you should know.
No. Let's take the high ground and let's support him.
Everyone's got a past. The important thing is you're trying to make up for it. I'm still on your side.
I'm not the hugging type. So, yeah. Good talk.
And with that, having reached the highest level of affinity with Deacon, I've gained the Cloak and Dagger perk. Every companion, when you get them to 1,000 affinity, will give you this, though some of them it's locked behind certain story missions as well, such as Paladin Dance, for example. But this guy, he is not. Cloak and Dagger, and Cloak and Dagger is very, very good. So, Cloak and Dagger, thanks to my relationship with Deacon, you receive 40% Stealth Boy duration. Well, that's nice, but in all fairness, I don't think really many of us use Stealth Boys in this game. And more importantly, 20% more sneak attack damage. Oh, just anything I can do to get my sneak attack power up, I will gladly take.
You really like to wander, don't you? I've seen more of the wealth with you than I have the rest of my years combined.
We've spent the entirety of the last few days standing in this one bit of this one supermarket, you lunatic. Go away. You're banned forever. And with that perk, 2 ranks of Ninja and Pickman's Blade, my sneak attacks are starting to become slightly on the ludicrous side. So we got a Raider Psycho over there. Not a problem for me. 6.2 times damage, because that 20% isn't a damage increase, it's an increase to, it's a straight increase to how much kind of the multiplier is. So even though, I've only got 2 ranks of Ninja, that's now gone up from what was 5.5 with Pickman's Blade up to 6.2 times damage. So yes, ridiculously powerful and well worth getting as well. There's a Scavvy. And a Scavvy goes right down. Nothing can stand up to my sneak attack criticals at this point. It is ludicrous on toast how much damage I can just do when I feel like it. It's beautiful. And while I'm here, why not clear out the rest of Corvega as well? Because of course there was a bobblehead up top I didn't grab last time. Maybe a little bit useful at least. Just got to get myself into cover and then move up person by person. And there should be one person in here at least, unless they've already come down. There normally is. I think we're alright for their minute. There we are. People throwing Molotovs around like crazy. There's already somewhere up there taking pot shots at me. Can't even see her. Where the heck is she? Ah, you. And with her dead, we can very quickly grab the repair bobblehead for fusion course lasting 10% longer. Because, spoiler alert, I will be using my power armor more and more as we go on. Because if you face tougher and tougher enemies, I may be a ridiculous glass cannon in this mode, but sometimes being a glass cannon just doesn't cut it. There you go. Oh, and with that final thing... Oh, there's one over there. There's one very lucky person over there I'm just going to go and hide from. But yes, indeed, it would appear that, in fact, I've leveled up again. Lovely. Yeah, I probably didn't need to spend level 18 perk on that locksmith, by the way. I probably could have done what I did with Deacon back in Sanctuary. In fact, actually, it's a good idea to do it in a settlement, because then obviously you can have more than one companion with you. Because if you do something just while you're in the same settlement as someone, then it counts for all of them. So, for example, if I'd had, like, say, Kate and Deacon just floating around Sanctuary and I'd done it there, then as a result, I would have actually been in much better shape, because I could have done it for both of them at the same time. But never mind, I don't really think I need Kate's perk. I'm not sure it's that important. One thing I do think that's important, though, is Armourer, which I've neglected up to now. I kind of don't really need it yet, and I'll kind of only be using it a little bit, but you know what? I am a bit of a glass cannon. I'm very fragile. It will be worth starting to move that in the right direction, because as time goes on, that will become more and more useful. In fact, by the end of this game, I'll definitely be wanting that to be at rank 4. So yes, that is definitely a good idea. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, as I've been recording this part, this is 4 hours worth of footage. It's just most of it is me just kind of, yes, trying to get glitches to work or trying to show off exploits related to companions. So, a bit of a glitch-heavy episode, actually. I don't normally do kind of glitches, but to be honest, I just don't enjoy using companions in Fallout 4. But there's a couple of things that, like, you know, in terms of perks, they're very, very useful for. So, for that at least, I'm willing to kind of, you know, find the nice, easy ways to get my way through to those companion perks. But yes, that 20% extra on the multiplier to your sneak attack criticals is ludicrously powerful. That's just, yeah, just my character needs to pile every single perk that piles just a little bit more onto those multipliers. That's what I need to be doing. So yes, very, very, very good indeed. So coming up on this Friday, I'll probably do a bit of a shorter part this Friday, because as some of you will be aware, this coming Friday is also the day that the new Hitman game comes out. Huge fan of that franchise too, so I'll be looking to kind of play that on the day that comes out, and so that will probably take up a little bit of my time. So as a result, there'll probably be a bit of a shorter part out of Fallout 4 No Guns on Friday, but I've got plenty of things planned. I've got another companion to go and visit, albeit for slightly selfish reasons. I need to go and recruit that other companion. I've got more to do with the railroad too, and then I've got to go on the second great journey to a corner of the map I've barely even been to at all across any of my save files. So all of that's to come, ladies and gentlemen, and in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. This has been Fallout 4 No Guns. Thank you very much, and goodbye. I've got plans. Dad, this is my plan. International Peacekeeping Force. I'm here to bring peace. It's a tsunami of monkeys. This is literally a tidal wave of monkeys. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't be here. Don't be standing here. Okay. Oh, you want more peace? Here, have some more. Have some more.